Hey everybody, I'm Kellen Fisher. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's week 2 for college basketball. The AP poll is out, and we are going to take a look at the new poll because there's been a lot of movement and a lot of things that needed to get digested because I was not going to do a college basketball video again for the 3rd time in a row, but I decided I needed to because of all the movement. Now, we had UNC Kansas, so 2 ranked teams, somebody had to lose, and that was Kansas. Kansas moves down to 25, barely staying in. And no teams that were ranked in the preseason poll dropped out. And no new teams came in, obviously. So, just places changed. 24 is the same with Wisconsin. They're 2-0, did what they were expected to do, is blow out 2 smaller schools. 23, Creighton, they've only played 1 game, and they're one of the only teams really that's only played 1 game so far, and they did what they're supposed to do. So they stay the same. But we get some little changes here. So now we got Auburn. I think Auburn changed, and they played, it was a little touch and go. 1 game they won in overtime, and then their next game they won. So they kind of did what they're supposed to do, but not at the margin that they were supposed to in the spread. And then you have Arkansas. They're 1-1, lost to Michigan State in East Lansing. So that is a good loss. Arkansas is the only team to ever play all of the Elite 8 teams from the previous year. So they're playing all Elite 8 teams from the previous year this season. And Michigan State was their first one. So 0-1, but Arkansas's got a tough schedule. So at the end of the day, Michigan State is a good loss. And then you got 20, you have Tennessee. Once again, Tennessee, not much to say. Did what they were supposed to do. So that's about it. Now Gonzaga, they beat Oklahoma last Friday night by a much bigger margin at home than what they were expected to do. So they did pretty well. Now North Carolina moved up to 18. They won against Kansas at home. They think they were favored to win in that one too, I think. So not much to say about that at all. That was an impressive win by them. I'll give them that, definitely. But then you got 17. You have Michigan State. Michigan State beat Arkansas, who is a pretty decent team, but I did give them some criticism. On my video or 2 ago, so I did give Arkansas a little bit of criticism, and they lost, but tough game for Michigan State. It's a good win for them. It was definitely close for a lot of it, pretty much all of it. And then you have Iowa State at 16. Iowa State, not much to say with them. Same with UCLA, beat Pepperdine at another school. They move up to 2-0. Illinois, 14, I believe. I think UCLA or Illinois, one of them stayed the same. I think it was UCLA. 2-0, Illinois. Did what they're supposed to do. Brad Underwood, an amazing coach. Illinois and Purdue, I think, will be the 2 teams to beat in the Big Ten this year. Sure, you want to include UCLA, but I really think it's going to be Illinois and Purdue. Then number 13, St. John's, lost to Alabama. That was a little bit of a shocker for some people. So that's something to note there. But St. John's is going to be a good team. They'll be one of the best teams besides UConn in the Big East. Louisville, 2-0. They have a tough game coming up against Kentucky this week. So that game is tomorrow. Tuesday. That is a notable game that you need to watch. 11 is Texas Tech. They're supposed to do. They're going to be a good team in the Big 12. Watch out for them. Not much to say for that. Number 10, Florida. Florida dropped. In fact, Florida dropped, and the top 10 changed, and except for number 9, Kentucky, they stayed the same. But everywhere else changed in the top 10 besides that 9 spot. So let's keep an eye on that when we get to that number 1, number 2, because I'm not sure, what I think about that, if I like it or not. But number 8, because we went over Kentucky, Florida lost, so I think that kind of shocked some people. Number 8, Alabama, they received 1 vote to be ranked first in the country. They beat St. John's. They should not be the number 1 team in the country. They're at a pretty decent spot where they are. And number 7 is BYU. They're 2-0. And they have a game this Saturday coming up against UConn. That's also a big game to watch too. That should be a fun one. BYU made it to the Sweet 16 last year. I'll be interested to see what they can do this year. And number 6 is Michigan. They also received the vote to be number 1 in the country. They're not. Michigan, I'm sorry, add Michigan to my list of teams in the Big Ten beat. I think Michigan's going to be very good this year. They got a nice coach, much better than their former one, Howard. He was awful. Number 5, Arizona. And yes, I'm only saying he was awful because he threw punches at Wisconsin. So, yeah. Number 5, Arizona. They're 2-0. They played pretty well. I think they had a little bit of a down year last year, but they're ready to rock and roll this year. Number 4 is Duke. I'm not a Duke fan by any means, as you know, and I think Duke's at a good spot. 4-3 is UConn. Perfect. I like that. 1 and 2. Houston moves to number 1. Purdue moves to number 2. This is the first time I'm talking about one of the 2 spots together. Normally, I always say number 2 and then move to number 1, like most people do. But this deserves a little special treatment because Purdue won. They played two smaller schools. They won by 10 points against Oakland, and then they won, pretty much blew out their game before that. So Purdue, they won, and they received 36 votes to be number 1, but Houston only received 18. So that's something to note there. But overall, the points matched up, and Houston beat Purdue by 3 points in the AP poll overall. So that the points is where you really got to look at, because that's what determines the teams that go where, is the points, not the votes for the number 1 spot. And Houston, they're supposed to, they blew out their 2 no-namers. They're 2-0. So I would have kept Purdue at number 1. I disagree with that. I would have kept Purdue at number 1. Let's wait. Let's hold on this week and maybe another week, and let's see what Purdue does. And if they really do start to slip, then let's change them. But this is a little early. I think we should have kept Purdue at number 1. I'm Kellen Fisher. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.